Hey everybody, tonight we are doing a video using the P13 Rosy Cozy Christmas line. And I am using a bunch of different papers. There's definitely more in the line, but this is what I'm using. I'm going to use this side, but on the back side is these beautiful red flowers. Some regular white cardstock. I will be using this side. There's also some flowers on that side. This beautiful page with nice flowers and this bird. And that's polka dots, which I would love to use both sides, but of course I only have one sheet of paper. This pack of ephemera. And these are the decorative tags. And then I'm also using a thicker sticker sheet Blitzen, so I'll be using some stickers probably from there. Just a regular white foam or mat, so that is 5x7 for a 4x6 photo. And this was the back side of this paper. I had another one and I just cut them out, so we're going to be doing that. I already did the fussy cutting to save some time. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I am going to remove our papers for now, and I am going to start on a mat. Or a back mat, I guess, back cardstock. I've already trimmed this down to what I would like, and I am now going to use Infusions by Paper Artsy, the Sage, and this is a walnut ink. I am going to put a little bit of a splash, remove the back end. So you don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to put a little bit like that. And a spritz of water. It gives us some lovely color. Look at that color, hey? Gorgeous color. So I'm just going to remove that for a second and clean up our excess water that might have got on our background here, our table. And for those of you who've never used, see, there's a little excess there as well. Use these walnut inks, they are awesome. You could have used a red, but I thought there's a lot of red in this, so, and red is a lot more dominant than the green, so I thought we will try with this color. Okay, to speed things up, you could use your Tim Holtz heat gun or heat tool, or you could use an embossing gun. But I'm just going to pat dry for now, and this should dry pretty fast. So now we're on to step 2. So now that is dried and I've tacked it down onto our striped paper, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some cutting out of some of this paper. And this one as well. So this is where we're going to start using some of the dots, and I might cut this piece out or that piece, so we're going to look into that. So the first thing we're going to do is I just want some stripes of this one, and because I've already cut one out, and that was how we got our two pieces that we already fussy cutted, which are these, I'm just going to use what's left over of this page. So I'm going to cut out a couple just in case. Trim up a little bit of the excess because we're not using the whole width. So we'll go something like that. With these things too, you could mount them and have a mat with like a green or a black or a red, or you could even edge them with some ink, but I am not going to do that for this particular project. So we're going to do that. This really depends on which area we're going to use to cut out. We're going to use this area or the bird. on where we cut this so we can use the dots. I think I am going to use, because we already have our other areas that we cut out, I think I'm going to use the bells. So I'm going to cut our dots from the bottom side. So there's that piece. And now it's on to more fussy cutting. So I've now done my fussy cutting. I'm just going to trim up this sheet, this little bit that we cut off, and try and figure out where exactly we want to put this. So our mat for a photo. Sometimes I like to just try and figure it out this way, especially when you don't have your picture yet. Just try and figure out exactly how you want to do this and how you're going to line things up. So, like for example, I might want to move this over here because I was thinking of putting this in this corner. So, unless we put this right underneath, we could do that. Always play around with your things before you tack it down, because you might not like the end result. So, for these ones, because I did corner pieces, I could put these in here somewhere, because I like to do things in threes, which is normally how your eye looks at things. And you could put that in there somewhere. It's really up to you what you would want to do. And we can't forget, we've got our decorative tags. So I'm going to open these up and see exactly what is in here. So with our decorative tags, we have a whole bunch of different tags. And one thing I am going to do is I'm going to trim one for the top. There's a whole bunch of different ones, like there's tons. I'll show you the package. There's a whole bunch of different ones that you could use. So really it's all just personal preference which one you want to use. This one with the plaid is kind of neat, but because I have the stripes there, that one probably doesn't work. And that is the same paper. That's one nice thing about these is they are reversible, so there's stripes on the whole other side. This one is really neat because I really didn't use anything like that, so that's an idea. You don't really want to have a whole bunch of flowers because there's tons of flowers already in this. So maybe that's what I will do, is do the holly area. So I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do first is just cut it with my scissors straight across. So there's that, and then that will be tacked down in here. Also, we don't have our picture here yet, but I know it's going to be something Christmassy, and I will probably put something of the Christmas tree or something of us outside. So you could really pick whatever kind of title you wanted to have. This is another thing on how you want to tack your items down, is to figure out how this is going to fit for size. So that's another thing. You don't want to tack this down and then not have your title fit. So with this one, if I move this, I could tack that up there like that and have our title down here. It really just depends what you want to do. Here's smaller words and different phrases and sayings. So if we didn't have a lot of room, we could also use these, and these would fit nicely into this area. So we could do that as well. I think I know what I'm going to do. So let's tack her down. With most of this, it is just going to be with our normal tape runner. The items that we fussy cutted out, those will be with our our foam squares. So that's what we will mount. So we're going to put that like so. And really, you could do anything you wanted to. This is just my take and my style. And you could put multiple pictures if you wanted to. You don't have to just do one picture. Or having said that, you could even do a 2-page layout. I tend to usually only do 1-page layouts. That doesn't say I don't do 2-page layouts, but it's really not the norm for me. You could also, if you didn't want to do a 4x6 picture, which is what I plan on doing, you could do an 8x10, an 8x12, any size really, an 8x8, or you could do a whole bunch of multiple small photos. So a lot of people do that, and I've done that myself in many of my videos, which you've probably seen. I tend to do a lot of small photos, just using your photo printer at home, whether you have a Selfie or an Epson or another photo printer. They all work great. The other thing you could do with this too, and I can mention this now because I do not have my photo yet, but is because this is so colorful, you could do something in sepia or you could do something in black and white. You wouldn't necessarily have to do a color photo, because sometimes having a lot of color in a layout is very difficult to see when you have a color photo as well. Okay, so we have all of our foam squares on our corner piece. So now we can take all of the backings off. And I think this is going to turn out really nice. So while I'm doing this, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like our Facebook feed, and make sure you keep up on all the videos and whatnot coming out. I have videos planned and on the go for the next 4 months, so we should be good for content. All right. One thing too you could do is make sure to, as well, that the foam squares you put in these areas aren't totally tacked down. That's another thing, because if you don't have your photo yet, which I don't, you won't be able to raise it to put your photo in. So I am going to, while I've got this out here like this, I am going to, sorry, my chair's a little squeaky. I am going to edge my sides of the sheet of my mount, and I'm using the VersaFine by Sukaniko, and it's the Shady Lane. So I'm just going to go the outside edge because I don't want too much ink, but I want something for a little bit of depth and dimension. These are very nice ink pads. All right, so now we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive on this with our tape runner or your other adhesive that you use. And we're going to pop this like so underneath. And just eyeball it and put it in straight. Or you can do whatever. If you want to go horizontal, you could go horizontal. I'm doing vertical. Okay. So our next thing we're going to do is pop these down. And again, we're going to use our foam squares. You can use black foam squares or white. I tend to have a lot of black right now because I've used a lot of the white ones. Either one really works. With this, I'm not going to see the black come through the paper. This is a very thick quality paper as well, so you won't see the outline. Really, either works. One thing I'm thinking while I'm doing this that I might do is grab my Wink of Stella and put it maybe on the bells. That's another option you could do as well. Or if you have some stickles. Okay. So there's that. And then again, rules of 3. We can put this one in as well. So we could put this one in here. That's also an option. And when I do this, because this one, you can see, you can slide your picture still under there. I'm not going to take the backings off of my foam squares right there. Because, again, we don't have our picture yet. Once we get our picture tacked down, you can take your foam square backings off. So, all right, so as you can see, those ones are still on. And put that down like so. Look how this is all coming together, hey? And you can see, you can raise that right now. All right, so this, I'm not going to foam square that. I am just going to use my adhesive on this one. And I'm going to put that in the corner. And I'm also going to use another one. And this one's kind of neat. It's kind of a little bit of a rustic vibe to it. You could do the plaid on here, or this one. Maybe I'll do the plaid for this one. I am going to cut it off a little bit, and I'm going to pop this one down like so. And I am going to foam square this. Okay, that is off. And we're going to pop that in here, just underneath, and foam square that. All right, so that's all we're going to use of our tags for now. They're such beautiful, vibrant colors. They're very, very pretty. The other thing we do have with this line is, and I didn't mention it before, is these stickers. So there's a lot of different sayings and whatnot, so you can also apply these as well in some areas. But first of all, we're going to come up with a title. So I think I'm going to put something along the bottom here. See what would work. Just Merry Christmas works actually, and it fits really nicely. So let's do that. And one nice thing about this is because it's on a clear backing, you can see exactly how it's going to fit. So there's that. And then we will pop that on. And what I'm going to do is just cut that off for now, so we can see how this is going to work. So there's our title. There's our title. And we do have these other words, and there's a lot of really neat words too. Some of them are the magic of Christmas, dreaming of a white Christmas, perfect day, our time, silent night, holy night, baby it's cold outside, December daily, jingle bells. Yeah, there's a lot of really neat sayings. It's the most wonderful time of the year is a great one for this. Some of them are very specific, like wheat baked cookies. Well, we don't know what we're going to be putting on here. So you want to have something somewhat general. Wonderful moments spent with family is a nice one. But I think I really like it's the most wonderful time of the year. So, and that is a long one. So what I'm going to do with that is actually trim it. So we will trim that. And we're going to put it right in here. So take out your fussy cut stickers. And I'm going to trim it from 1 into 3. So biggest thing is making sure you get it straight. Okay, and then we're just going to tack down our title. And with some of these, sometimes you have to be careful. This whole area here, the words are all intact, but sometimes the first letter on some of these isn't, so make sure that you put it on carefully and straight. With a word like Christmas, you have to be careful too. Some of these, the ones that aren't the puffy, I tend to find can also stretch out, so you have to be somewhat careful when you put them out, because when you take it off, they actually stretch. And some other ones, the foil, they will bend, and you will actually see a bend mark in your foil, so that's not always great either. So there's those, and with that, there's some little holly pieces on there, so we could put the holly pieces on as well. Since that's essentially what we're doing right here with our fussy cutting. Okay, so I'm only going to put one of the holly pieces on. So there's our layout. And for a finishing touch, like I'd mentioned before, we have the Wink of Stella. I'm just going to find my clear one. And that is something that we would like to probably put on here as well. So I'm just going to add some glitter to the shaded areas on our bell. There. So just add a little bit of depth into that, and if you wanted to, you could even add a little bit into the dark areas on your flower. It's totally up to you. You can add that in here, and that's it. A little bit in here, and a little bit in here. Can't forget this flower too. So there you go. That is our P13 Rosy Cozy Christmas layout. I hope you enjoyed that. And stay tuned for some more awesome videos, including some more technique and Christmas videos. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.